Hey, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my YouTube channel called London Business as Usual, where I teach new LLCs, new small business owners how to start, how to grow, and how they scale their business by using business credit. Now, today's episode, we're going to talk about what's the best way to liquidate your credit cards. Because I'm sure it's a lot of information out there how to liquidate a credit card, but in my opinion, what's the best way, what's the more efficient way, and what's the most effective way? So I'm gonna break that down. But before I do that, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really helps the channel and I appreciate it. It gives me motivation to keep doing this content that I'm doing. All right, so let's break it down. Now, when it comes to liquidating your credit cards, the question becomes, why would we want to liquidate our credit cards, right? What's the necessity of liquidating a credit card? So most reasons why you want to liquidate your credit card, because you need access to cash. There are just some things where you just can't swipe your credit card to pay for things. For example, what if you have to do a down payment on a property? So you hear this all the time where people say, I use my credit card to buy this property. I just swipe my credit card. Well, essentially what they really saying is, they got an unsecured business credit card. I'm sure it's a 0% interest unsecured business credit card. They liquidated that credit card, right? Pull the money out, pull the cash out. And then they use that cash from their credit card to put a down payment on a property. That's the reason why they say they swipe their credit card. So in essence like that, right? So you can't go to the closing table and, hey, let me swipe my credit card. No, that's not going to happen. So you have to liquidate your credit card to pull the cash out. Now, other reasons, you may have to put a down payment on a truck. You may have to pay contractors, right? So there's different reasons why you need access to cash as opposed to swiping your credit cards. Now, when it comes to your credit card, there's several ways you can liquidate your credit card. So let me just go over a few. Then I'm going to give you the best way, in my opinion, to go out there and turn that credit card into cash. So, several ways to liquidate your credit card. One way, you probably heard this before, where you can do a cash advance or you can do convenience checks. Now, here's what's problematic with this strategy. When you do a cash advance, when you get convenience checks from your banks, from these lenders, well, that comes with a lot of fees and high interest, high APRs. So when you do a cash advance or getting convenience checks, the interest rate is going to be extremely high. Typically, it's going to be higher than your purchase APR. And we all know credit cards can come with really high interest rates, unless you get an introductory period where they're giving you 0% in the first 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months. Those are the credit cards that I love. But if not, you'll have your standard credit cards where the interest rate can be anywhere between 8% all the way to 26%, somewhere around that area. So you want to be mindful of that. And then when you're doing convenience checks and when you're doing cash advance, the interest rate is going to be even higher. Then that APR is going to occur immediately. So you don't get no grace period. So as soon as you do a cash advance or write a convenience check, the interest rate is practically going to double and you're going to constantly get interest on that credit card from the time that you pull the money off. In addition to that, all that high interest rates, high fees, you also can only pull about 30% off of the credit limit. Right. So if you have a $300 credit card or you have a $1,000 credit card and you're looking to liquidate that credit card, you only can pull about $300 off. If you have a $30,000 credit card and you're looking to liquidate that credit card, you only can pull about $9,000 off. Probably max 30%. Some will even go lower than 30%. So you have to be mindful of that. You can't liquidate the whole credit card. You can't turn the entirety of that credit limit cash into credit. So be mindful of that. So cash advance and convenience checks, I would not recommend that. The cost is way too high. And also it can damage your personal credit score with this method too as well. So let's throw that out the window. Now, the next thing we can do is you can do like balance transfer credit cards or you can do balance transfer checks, which I love too. I love doing this strategy too as well. It's not the best, but I love doing this strategy because you can get 0% balance transfer credit cards where you can transfer one balance to the next. Also, you can get with 0% interest and low balance transfer fees. So this is a great strategy to do. I do this strategy all the time. It's a great way to liquidate your credit cards. Now, also, you can request balance transfer checks, which is different than a balance transfer credit card, where you can practically call and do a balance transfer, or you can do it online. But when you get balance transfer check, you can write yourself a 0% interest check, like write yourself a check. So if you got a $20,000 credit card, you can take a balance transfer check. You have to call, so few ways you can do it. So let's say you call Chase Bank and you say, hey, I want balance transfer checks, not convenient checks, but you want balance transfer checks. And they will mail you out the balance transfer checks, or then you can write yourself a personal check and deposit that money into your business checking account. Now, every bank doesn't do it. Just to give you three that does do it, you have Chase, Bank of America, and Citibank. They all can do balance transfer checks. So what you're gonna do, take that check again, write yourself a check. Let's say if it's $25,000. Now, the great thing about this, you can liquidate this credit card all the way to the credit limit. So if you got $30,000 on there, if you got $25,000 on there, you can write yourself a whole $25,000, $30,000 check. Take that cash, take that check, deposit it into your business checking account. Yes, you can do that. You don't have to just take that check and pay off another credit card. Actually, you can take that check and pay anyone if you wanted to, use it just like a regular check. Again, regular check can take 3 to 5, 7 days to clear, just depending on your financial institution. So keep that in mind. But yes, you can pay any lender, you can pay anyone with that check, just like you use a personal check. But what I like to do personally, I like to take that check and I like to deposit to my business checking account. So deposit to your business checking account, let it clear, or it might clear right away. Again, just depend on your bank. And now you got that. Now you just turned that $25,000 that was on your credit card. Now you just turned that into cash, where you deposit directly into your check. And now you can go out and put a deposit on real estate, put a down payment on your truck if you're in a trucking company, transportation business, whatever you need to do because you need access to cash. Or you just need to free up some cash, right? Your cash flow is a little light, so you need to free up some cash. Now, the great thing about that is you don't have to worry about any interest, because that is a 0% interest credit card. It works. This strategy works best with 0% interest credit cards. So whether it's 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, however long that period is with that 0% interest credit card, this strategy worked perfectly. So that's another option. But here's one of the best ways to do it. Now, don't get me wrong, balance transfer checks and balance transfer credit cards is probably right up there with this strategy that I'm about to give you right here. But this is one of the best ways to do it too as well. Now, what I like to do, the best way to liquidate a credit card is just to use a merchant account. A merchant account, as far as, because you can use this strategy even when, well, the best way to use it is when you have 0% interest credit cards. Again, it's the best way to use this strategy with 0% interest credit cards, whether it's personal or business, but I prefer business 0% interest credit cards, obviously. However, you can use it with a personal too as well, especially if you're trying to consolidate debt, which I'm about to explain in a second, where you can take your credit card, you can go get a merchant account, Now, preferably, I will get a merchant account with someone else, right? Say if you have a business partner, a brother, a cousin, a mother, father, someone that you know, like, and trust. Because what you're going to do is you're going to take your unsecured business credit card. You're going to use that merchant account. Let's say if it's $10,000. You're going to use that merchant account, their merchant account. Let's say it's your business partner, merchant account. Pay the invoice. They're going to send you an invoice, right? So what they're going to do is send you an invoice for $10,000. You're going to use your credit card to pay that invoice for $10,000. They're going to get the cash, or then they're going to either Zelle it back to you, or they're going to wire it back to you, depending on your Zelle. Maybe you don't have that relationship with Zelle yet with that particular person, where you can send them a substantial amount of money. Maybe your limit is only $500, but you got to work your way up to it. Maybe your limit is $5,000, $10,000, depending on what your Zelle look like. But with the wire, you can just do a wire transfer. Now, there's going to be fees associated with this strategy, because let's say you go through a company called Stripe. you're going to pay to liquidate that credit card, you're at least going to pay about 3%, about 2.9% in order to liquidate that credit card. Also, when you're doing a wire transfer, there's going to be a fee with a wire transfer. So again, there's going to be fees associated with this strategy. Just like there's fees associated with the balance transfer checks and balance transfer credit cards, just like there's fees associated with also doing cash advance or convenient checks. That's just the cost of doing business. You're going to have to pay some type of fee, some type of penalty. So just suck it up. Just look at the big picture and you'll be okay. So my point is, if you do this strategy, right, liquidate your credit card by using a merchant account where you can liquidate 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 off your credit card and turn that cash into credit. So this is a great strategy that you can implement into your business in order to get the cash flow that you need, whatever type of thing you have to do with that credit card or with the funds in order to make a deal happen, in order to make a transaction happen. Now, there's other ways where you can do this, where you can, a company called Plastique, right? Some people use Dell. I never used that company, but I know a lot of people that do use the company. So that's another way that you can liquidate your credit cards or pay things by using your credit cards, by using a company called Plastique. Now, there's another way where people go to, for example, they go to sport goods or disc goods, whatever. They go to maybe like a Lowe's, or they go to maybe like a Walmart, where they do like a manufacturer spending, where they get gift cards and they get money orders, and you can do all that. However, that's too much time. I don't have time to be running to these stores and getting all these money orders and all these gift cards. And you can do the same thing with your merchant account. You can do the same thing. And in order to get the points, because most people do that to get the points and the cash, when they go to a Walmart and they get the money order and they give gift cards, they get the points and they get the cash. However, you can do the same thing with a merchant account. You can write yourself an invoice, the person sends you an invoice, but that when they send you an invoice, it can be for marketing. So for example, you have your American Express Business Gold Card where you get 4 times points for marketing. They can send you an invoice for marketing, and then you can pay that invoice. So now not only you getting the cash, but you also getting the points too. You see what I just did? So that's a great way to liquidate. Those are some of the best ways to liquidate the credit cards, but really the last two are the best ways to liquidate your credit card. Now, I hope this video helps you out a lot. I hope you can turn your credit into cash so you can start making some moves, and hopefully you can not only start, but grow and scale your business. That's the whole point of getting these unsecured business credit card or these business lines of credit, etc., to excel, to grow whatever asset you invested in. So see you in the next video. Have a good one. Peace. I'm out.